Good afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful day in Dubai, and what you're making today. Guess what? Do you guys know? Have you guys read the recipe? Do you guys know what we are making today? No? We are going to make restaurant style baked mango cheesecake. You know what's good about it? It's eggless. You know what? Let's try and eat it. Let's do it. You want to try and eat it? Look, what we are going to teach you today. What are you going to learn today? I'm going to teach you today how are you guys going to make a restaurant style or a cafe style baked cheesecake at home. I'm going to explain you all the techniques, all the flavors, all the small essentials. All right, let's dig into the cake and let's see how it is tasting. All right. There you go. This is how it's looking. It's looking nice, smooth, velvety. You wanna try it? You guys can try when you make it. But now at the moment, I'm gonna try it. All right. You guys gonna enjoy it. Now, what you gonna learn? What's the basics you're gonna do? You're gonna know how to learn a basic crumb, how to make it even, how to not overpress it. You're going to learn how to make this creamy cheesecake base and then the garnishing and the finishing of the cake. I believe you guys are gonna enjoy it. Before that, let me introduce myself. I am Chef Omkar. I'm a pastry and bakery chef instructor here at ICCA Dubai, and we do teach normal things in a very complicated. No, we do teach technical things in a very simple way so people can understand those things. All right. So by the end of this session, as I said earlier, you will know exactly how to recreate this creamy baked cheesecake at home. You know what's the best part? It's eggless. Yes. So you know what it means? We have catering to everyone. All right. So people who don't want eggs can also relate to this, can also make this special thing we will be making for the moms who want to make with their kids. It's easy, it's friendly. We are not using any sharp knives. We are not using any sharp utensils and all. All right. So at the moment, what we are going to do, we are going to start off with making the base. All right. Let me know in the comment downs below what type of biscuits you like to use. And yes, I forgot to inform you, if you want the recipe and if you want the whole recording, comment recipe in the comment section below across all social media channels. And also let me know in the thumbs up which biscuits you like to use at the base. Would you like to use McVitie's, you like to use digestive, or you like to use Oreo? Let me know what kind of biscuits you like to use. So at the moment today, what we are going to do is we're going to use digestive biscuits. Okay, these are the digestive biscuits what we use. I've already crushed them, and the important is the butter. So a lot of people says that we need our crust to be great, to be smooth. The main technique for that is, one important thing is you need the butter at room temperature. You don't want the butter cold. You don't want the butter to be melted. What happens when the butter is melted? When the butter is melted, it goes and soaks it into the biscuit. And what does the biscuit do? It absorbs the butter. And that's why it becomes hard. And if the butter is melted, when you put it in the chiller, it becomes super hard. The best temperature to eat your cheesecake, remove it outside the chiller, leave it there for 15-20 minutes, and then you enjoy it. Then you have a nice creamy texture of the cheesecake. Now let's moving forward. What I'm going to do now is, let's take our crushed biscuits. Let's take our butter. The butter is at room temperature, you see. The butter is at room temperature. It's not cold, it's not melted, it's at room temperature. This is very, very important for making the base of the cheesecake. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, you're going to mix it with the crushed biscuits in the butter. You guys can comment down if you want to ask me any questions. If you can, let me know what you're going to ask me and what. And always remember, the biscuit base is not, it doesn't only give you the crunch. It's basically, when you put it at the base, it acts as an insulation between, if you put only the cheesecake, like the Bass cheesecake, if you put it directly in the ring, it will get burnt from the bottom, it will get cooked from the bottom. So this biscuit base also acts like an insulation. Also, it gives you a texture while eating your cheesecake. Okay. We have already coming up. What all biscuits you guys prefer? Guys, you can use any biscuits you want. The most important thing is just remember, if you're using any biscuit which has cream base, avoid using the cream based biscuits because it has cream in that. And what's going to happen is, if there is cream in that, your biscuits are going to get moist when it goes in the oven. Okay, so that's more important on the note. So you need to understand the small things. Okay, so this is almost mixed. I'm just going to give it a nice mix with my hand, and then we are going to put it in the ring. Okay, there we have a question now. Someone is asking, do ICCA students learn foundational dessert techniques like base setting? Of course, yes. We over here we do teach the basics. We have two different modules, which is the primary module and the secondary module, where we teach the students how to master the techniques first. The first is mainly based on your techniques, and the secondary module is more enhancing on your secondary, on the enhanced desserts on the secondary module. So I have got this tray with me, and this is a 16 centimeter ring where I'm going to use it for my base of the cake. We have one more question coming up. What butter did I use, salted or unsalted? In pastry world, we usually use unsalted butter. The reason why being is because sometimes there are recipes where you don't need salt in your ingredient, or you don't need salt. So that's why it's preferably we use unsalted butter. The second reason is we know how to control the salt in the recipe. So that's one of the reasons we can do that. So what I'm going to do next is, I have this fancy cutter. Not cutter, we call it presser. If you don't have this at home, don't worry. We can use a regular whisk, what we have. All right, we can use this as well. How you can use a whisk? You have a flat side in the whisk, so you can use this to flatten it. So what we do now is, first things, we spread the base evenly, right? All right, we make sure that you spread the base evenly, and then you take this and then you just press it. Guys, remember, there is a small technique over here which a lot of people misunderstood. You do not need to squash the base. Don't press it too much, just make it even. The reason why is, when you cut your cheesecake, you don't need that the base to be hard. That's one of the reason. If you press the base too much, then the base will be very hard and you won't enjoy. Okay, so that's this, and I'm going to show you how to use the presser. So basically we have a presser over here, and then we are just going to level it. And one more thing I would like to say is, um, I have lined the base. If you guys want to use a cake tin, you can still use the cake tin, but just put a baking paper at the bottom so it comes off easily, or you grease it well so it comes off easily. Over here, I have used in 60 centimeter round ring, and I have lined it with baking paper, and I have lined it with aluminum foil. All right. So that's the base. I hope you can see. Comment thumbs up if you can see that. All right. I'm just going to put this on the side. And the next thing what I'm going to do is, we are going to start with the base. Um, I would like to ask you one more question, guys. If you guys, why I'm using mango? What's the reason? Why not any other flavor? First of all, I love mangoes. Second, it's a mango season at the moment, and we have mango farms. So basically, I've grew up eating mangoes since my childhood, and I believe the whole world loves to eat mangoes. So that's why, and it's very easy to make. Second question I would like to add over here is, normally baked cheesecake, you have eggs over there, right? You have eggs in form of whole eggs, or you have eggs in form of yolk, but that's the protein which holds the cheesecake. What protein do I have here at the moment? There is, we have replaced the protein in terms of condensed milk. You know why? Because here the proteins from the cream, cheese, and the condensed milk is going to act it. It's going to act like a protein, and it's going to come together. I have a question coming up over here is, what is the standard size for a biscuit base and how much thickness? Well, it's a good question. It depends on what size of cake ring you have, but usually it should be less than 5 mm, or 5 mm is also a good size, depending, it's a ratio, right? So basically the ratio what I'm going to use today is, you can make one nice 18 centimeter ring and you can fill it until top. So that's the ratio over here what I'm going to do. All right, now let's start making the cheesecake. Now I'm going to just put this on the side a bit, and then one most important tip over here, since it's a baked cheesecake, why it goes wrong? What is the important thing over here? If first thing, if you mix the base too fast, you're basically aerating the cheesecake. You're adding air in the cheesecake, which you don't want. When you add everything together, mix it at a very slow speed. Worst come, if you have a blender, put everything in this bowl, immersion blender everything, or you do a mixie for like 10-15 seconds, and that's it. All right, so now what we are going to do is, we are going to start adding one by one ingredient in the this one. Oh, we have got another question coming up. How does this cheesecake set without eggs? As I explained earlier, egg has protein, and eggs does the, how you say, it coagulates. So basically over here, it's the cream and the condensed milk which also has a bit of protein in that, and that helps to set the cheesecake. What, why it's important to mix slowly while making the batter? It is very very important to mix slowly, because if you mix very fast, basically you're whipping the the cheesecake, which you don't want it. And also do comment down below what kind of cheesecake you like to have. It's a cold set cheesecake or a baked cheesecake. Do let me know in the comment section below. There goes the cream. Then goes the mango puree. Cornstarch, that's going to help you in holding the cheesecake or setting the cheesecake. Flavor, vanilla. If you see vanilla over here, it's not essence over here, we have extract. And if you see the small dots, if you can see, the small dots are the vanilla bean over here. So we are using good vanilla over here, and it will give you a nice flavor with mango. It's an option. If you don't like vanilla, no need. Last but not the least, lime juice. I am adding lime juice, not lemon juice. It's a personal choice. I love limes. And why I'm adding lime juice? So it balances the flavor and the fat in your recipe. 1 teaspoon of lime juice is more than enough. Okay, we'll get this out of our way. Let also, guys, okay, all right. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you like to have? You like to have baked cheesecake, you like to have cold cheesecake, or you like to have burnt box cheesecake? Let me know in the comments. I personally love Bass cheesecake, but then it's so amazing to it. Now I'm using this mixer, but I'm not going to whip it or mix. I'm just going to mix it at the slow speed. Okay. The most important thing happening over here is just mixing. Important tip over here is make sure your ingredients are at room temperature. That's very very important. If your ingredients are not at room temperature, it's gonna give you that grainy texture. All right, and you see, if you can see in the mixing bowl, it's gonna get mixed at the slow speed. It's the same speed of my hand. I'm just mixing it. We have a question. Why do we use lime juice for emulsification or acidity? It's basically acidity. The reason why I have used the lime juice is to balance the sweetness and the richness. So basically what the lime juice is, acidity balances the sweetness and it cut down the fat. All right. Okay. Now if you may see, it's nice mixture. Let me take it out from the machine and I will show you again. All right. If you see, there is 90% lumps is gone, and this is going to be the texture of your cheesecake. All right. Okay. Now if you have used, now here is still time. If you have gone wrong, it's still time to correct your cheesecake. If you have mixed the cheesecake on a higher speed, leave it at the moment, so whatever the air bubbles are trapped inside, we can do it. Okay, we have a question coming up. TikTok users want me to make Saint Sebastian cheesecake. All right, we can do it in our upcoming lives. That's great. We can do that. Not a problem. That's uh, again a very technical thing to do, but then of course it's very nice. See, guys, making cheesecake is all about precision. It's all about balancing the flavor. It's about what percentage of cream cheese you are using, and you don't need to whip it. You just need to mix it. And also, if you may let us know what recipes you'd like to see us on ICCA live. Now, I will go back to my cheesecake base, hot water. Okay, and then I'm going to pour this very nicely, and I'm going to let it sit for a minute. So it will give me the air bubbles, whatever it's coming, it will leave it. So I'm just giving it quick stir, and then you see the idea is to get everything in. All right. Now, important tip over here. You have poured your batter, just give it a nice shake, and with the spoon, just tap it on top so the batter is evenly spread everywhere. How, I have a question coming up. How does, yes, it's nice. The question coming up, how we will we understand the right consistency of the batter? As I said, your temperature of your ingredients is most important. If you have used cold ingredients, it will give you a grainy texture because your cream is cold, your condensed milk will be cold, your cream cheese will be cold. So it will give you a grainy texture. If you scale and leave the ingredients outside for 1 minute, no, sorry, well, not for 1 minute, at least for 45 minutes to 1 hour, then the temperature of the ingredients come down and it's easy to mixing. The consistency of the batter should be pourable consistency. You see, this is how it should be. All right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to put this batter for baking. Over here, since our ovens are a bit more industrial, I'm going to pour it at 140 degrees, but at home, you can use 160 degrees. The time what I'm going to use is 35 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes. but at home you can do 40, 45 minutes or even 50 minutes. It depends on what kind of oven you have. Second thing, I'm going to explain you about bain marie. Do you guys know bain marie? If you know what is bain marie, give me a thumbs up in the comment section so I can see that you guys are engaging. All right, bain marie, double boiler or water bath, it's all the same terminology. What it does is, okay, one more thing I want to add while baking is I'm going to steam roast it. So basically I'm using a combi method of baking where I'm going to use steam plus roast, and then I'm going to pour this water over here. Why I'm using this? In case the oven temperature goes up, you will have cracks in your cheesecake. So what does the water does? It helps you to control the baking, because what temperature the steam comes at 100 plus degrees, right? And then that's when it becomes, so if the temperature goes above 140 in our industrial ovens, it's not steam anymore, it's baking. That's why we use steam and steam roast to control the temperature of the baking. If you have, if you understood what I'm trying to say, give me a thumbs up in the comments section. All right, now I'm going to take this in the oven, and I'm going to pour some water, and then I'm going to start baking it. There goes the tray. I'm going to add the water. All right, water went in, and then I'm starting the baking has started now. We have got one more question. Oh, we have got oh no, we have got thumbs up. Yeah, you got quite a few thumbs up, guys. Thank you, you smart people. All right, now since our cheesecake is baking in the oven, do you guys want to see what we do here at ICC every day? Yeah, we'll show you a quick video, our playground, what we do in our ICC every day, what our students do, what they learn, how they learn, and everything. I'll see you back in a minute, and go watch and see what we do here every day. Hey, you guys are back, huh? I hope you guys love what we do here every day. I hope you guys love the kitchen. I hope you guys love what we do every day. So we have a question. Why did you place it in the lower rack? Guys, there is nothing in lower rack or bigger rack. It depends on the oven. So basically, I want a smooth airflow. Since I have industrial oven over here, you can place it in the center rack. You can place it in the top rack. It depends on your oven, basically. All right. Nitesh on TikTok says, when he does Ben Mary, the cheesecake still breaks. You need to check the temperature of your oven. In the industry, we use bain marie. Also, like if you see now, I have used bain marie. The temperature matters and the time matters. All right. Sania on TikTok, she's asking, how is the mixture different from a cold cheesecake? Very good question. I like this question. There's two different techniques of baked cheesecake and cold cheesecake. Baked cheesecake is more on the mixing side. We don't whip anything, or we don't we don't fold anything. We are just mixing at one speed. Whereas in cold cheesecake, we are doing a lot of methods. We are making sabayon, we have the base, we have the cheese, we are mixing, we have the egg whites, we are making the French meringue, mixing with the cream. Let me know in the comments below. Do you want to see a cold cheesecake later on? Let me know. All right. Frieza is asking, is preheating required? Of course. Like, sometimes we say common sense is not common, but then we need to understand, especially in bakery and pastry science, preheating is always very, very important. Because now imagine if I'm doing a sponge cake and I'm putting it in the oven, there is the aeration which is happening. And if the oven is not preheated, my sponge is going to deflate by the time the temperature of the oven comes. So, yes, preheating is required when you do anything. Nanini wants to know, what is the temperature of the water? The temperature of the water should be hot, let's say around 70, 80 degrees Celsius. All right, now let's come back to the moment. Our cheesecake is baking in the oven. I'm going to show you how to make a jelly on top. Now, two things over here. I'm going to use gelatin, but if you guys don't want to use gelatin, you can use agar agar. Let me know in the comment section what you would like to use. If you like to use agar agar, give me a thumbs up. If you like to use gelatin, still give me a thumbs up. All right. So what I'm going to do now is, I have. If you see the ingredients, and then if you look at your right side, you will see the recipe on your screen itself. We have mango puree, we have sugar, we have gelatin, and then we have lime juice. So let's start making. I'm adding the mango puree, adding the sugar. Guys, honestly, sugar is optional. If your mangoes are sweet enough, you don't need to add sugar. All right. Lime juice, but I'm going to add lime juice later on. Let me start my gas. Okay. Okay. Now, one more important thing, remember over here, don't just add sugar and leave it. The sugar will start caramelizing from the bottom. Second thing, you need to keep on stirring because you want the sugar to melt if you're adding sugar. Okay. And one more thing, remember, we don't need to boil this. We don't need to take it above 100. We just need to heat it up, take it up to 60, 70 degrees Celsius, just enough so I can melt the gelatin in. That's about it. Why? Because I'm going to pour this over a cold cheesecake, right? So when I pour over the cold cheesecake and this temperature is super high, above 80 degrees, it will form a porous. So you don't want that. You just want it to be hot. So you can pour over a cheesecake and then you can spread around. All right. All right. We have question comings. How long we should preheat the oven? Guys, like for example, when you start making, you can start preheating the oven at the same time, because depending on your oven, preheating takes about 4 to 5 minutes. At your home oven, it should not take more than 10 minutes. So preheat the oven just enough to before you do it, because otherwise you will end up spending more on the electricity or the gas. It's all about sustainability at the moment. So yes. We have one more question. Ronak is asking again. Hey, Ronak. Um, Lime juice is added early, then it will become bitter. Usually, we don't cook acids. That's a acid. Um, that's a balance between the sweetness and the fat. So that's why I love. And like, if you guys, I don't know if you guys had it ever in your life, who had uh, this tangy powder when you were a child eating with raw mango. Give me a thumbs up if you have done that in your child. I have done that. We used to eat raw mango with that black salt and chaat masala. It's lovely. Okay, that goes the gelatin. Okay, and adding a bit of lime juice. I'm not using all of it, but I'm just using a bit of lime juice. All right, I'm just keeping on mixing it. Do we have one questions? Oh yes, it's a good question from Joy. She's asking, what brand of mango puree would you recommend? Yes, thank you for an amazing question, Joyce. Uh, you cannot use fresh mango juice. Let me start from that. For making your cheesecake also, because it has a lot of water content. And even if you are using any juice, it should be heavy. It shouldn't be light. Second thing is, if you don't have puree, you use pulp. And what brand I'm using? I'm using Boron over here, which is widely used in our hotel industry, and we do that. So if you see over here, my jelly is ready. All right. One tip over here: add gelatin of the heat. You don't need to cook the gelatin more, otherwise the intensity of the gelatin, you're breaking down the gelatin. Gelatin doesn't react after 80 degrees plus. All right. We have one more question coming. Alex is asking on Facebook, how long is the shelf life we plan to sell the mango cheesecake? Fresh is best, guys. Uh, Commercially, you make the cheesecake a day before, let it set in your chiller. Next day, from the moment you put it in your cafe or your restaurant, 36 hours, that's it. If you want to, don't compromise on the freshness of the ingredients. Nanalini is asking how much agar agar to be used. All right, so let's do the ratio. Every 100 grams, 1 gram or 1.5 grams of agar agar. Don't do more than that. But then, if you're adding agar agar, you need to boil this mixture for at least 1 minute. So the agar agar activates. But then, when you're pouring it, don't pour it hot. Let it cool down a little bit for 1 or 2 minutes, and then you pour it. Remember, what is the difference between the agar agar and gelatin? Now, this is a very technical thing over here. I'll give you the basics over here. Gelatin sets at chill temperature. Whatever the chiller temperature is, 0 to 5 degrees, 10 degrees, gelatin sets at that temperature. Agar agar sets at room temperature. That's the basic difference. If you want to make a quick jelly, use agar agar. All right. So my mango jelly is done. What do you guys think? Do I need to wait for a cheesecake now? Nah. I have the cheesecake ready. I have the cheesecake ready. There you go, guys. I'm not gonna wait 35 minutes. Otherwise, you will leave me and go. I have the cheesecake ready for you guys, which is already baked. All right. So first things first, what I'm going to do is, um, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to dislocate the cheesecake first. This puree, the gas is off, it's on the gas, and it's getting cooled down a bit. So what I'm going to do now is, I am going to remove the paper first. Okay. You see, that's how the base should be. This is baked. This acts as an insulation. All right. And I'm going to put it over here. But before I put it over there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dislocate the ring from the side. When you run down your knife, be very careful, otherwise you'll end up destroying the sides of a cake. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to fix the sides of the cake as well. All right. Now I'm going to take this so I can drop off easily. Can I have blowtorch, please? There you go. You saw the creaminess of the cheesecake? And what you do with this? Tell me. Vijay, give me the ring again. I want to apologize for one thing. I'm going to put this cheesecake back because I want to put the jelly. Okay, and then I'm going to do it. So basically, you have the jelly, and then you have the cheesecake. I'm going to pour it. All right, I'm just going to give it a little bit of swirl so my jelly is spread all around. So what I'm going to do now is, if you're doing this at your home, it will take around 2 hours to set the gelatin. And then what I'm going to do now is, since I have a luxury of having a blast freezer, I'm going to put this in the blast freezer for, let's say, 5 to 7 minutes. All right. All right. Let's keep this on the side now. Let's take this on the side. Cream. Now, you guys let me know, what cheesecake would you like to have? Do you like to have baked cheesecake or cold cheesecake? Oh, we have a lot of comments. Katija on Facebook is asking, can you use sour cream instead of lime juice? You can use sour cream in your cake with your cream cheese, and you can replace it, the cream, the full fat cream, 50% with your sour cream. It will be more dense and it will be more rich and creamy. You need some, if you don't want to add lime juice or if you don't want to add any acids, don't add any acids. It's completely fine. It's basically, I am using mango cheesecake, which is rich, creamy, and sweet. To balance those flavor, I am using lime juice. Pooja on Instagram is asking, can we use mango coulis if we don't have the pulp? How did you make mango coulis? Can you comment me down? Because mango coulis is actually a process. You need a puree to make a mango coulis, or you need a mango pulp. Um, Wally is asking on TikTok, can you cook cheesecake on gas? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Comment down who wants me to do that next. Yes, you can, but that's very, very technical. You need the right amount of equipment, or you can use the basic equipment but in a different way. Let me know in the comment section if you guys want me to do that. Ronak is asking, if I use fresh mango juice, then how much I should reduce it? 25%. You can reduce it to 20 to 25% because mango is itself very thick in nature. It's not a liquid base like your pineapple, your mandarin, your orange, your lime juice. It's very thick in nature. So you need to reduce it, like 20% is more than enough. Can you mention the temperature of the oven and the time it takes to bake? See, I have an industrial oven over here. So for me, it takes 140 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. And but if you're using home oven, you need to use 160 degrees because that's the difference in both the temperatures. Zai is asking, can we line the ring with baking paper before baking? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Because I had the ring which is open from both the side. If you have the base in your ring, you can just line with butter paper. It's completely fine. Nalini is asking, it's just cooled at room temperature before demolding? Um, no. So basically, what you do is, after baking your cheesecake, you do not put it in the blast freezer. You do not put it in the chiller. Let it cool down at room temperature, and then once it comes at the room temperature at the lukewarm stage, then you put it in the freezer. All right, because if you put it in the freezer after it takes out from the oven, it's going to shrink the fats in that, and it's going to shrink it. which will give your cheesecake a little weird look. We have one more question coming up. Can you use pectin instead of agar agar? No, boss. You cannot use pectin instead of agar agar. Agar agar is made from seaweed. Pectin is made from, it's a protein extracted from natural fruits or berries. So you cannot replace the pectin. Pectin has different applications. Agar agar has different applications. All right. Now, since our cheesecake is baking in the oven, we have another cheesecake and our jelly is setting in the blast freezer. Let's make a cream shanti. Now, what is a cream shanti? Cream shanti is the mixture of whipping cream, icing sugar, and vanilla. All right. One basic secret, or one basic tip when you want to make a shanti. What is shanti? Shanti is a mixture of whipped cream with sugar and flavor. All right. Do not use cream at room temperature. Don't, because the fats comes at the room temperature and it doesn't whip. It doesn't hold it. So basically, you need to use your cream which is chilled. All right. So first things first, let's take your mixing bowl. It's nice and dry. We add our cream. What percentage of fat you need in the cream? I believe that must be one of the questions. I didn't even look at the screen. Uh, it should be 35% fat in the cream. That is important because you won't be able to hold the texture on. If you want to use that ready-made chemical whipping cream, go ahead, use it. I like to make my own creams. So, yeah. So, let's start again using the machine here. All right. Again, when you are whipping the cream, don't start with high speed. You start the machine with medium speed until and unless you want to have a makeup on your face. It's a very common sense. Well, if I put this on high speed, it's going to splash over me, right? So I'm going to use a medium speed, which is the speed 4, for mixing it. So what's happening now is I'm basically incorporating the air inside the cream, so it doubles in volume. So that's what I want to do. What is the ideal? I'm getting questions again. What is the ideal time to keep cheesecake refrigerated after baking? Uh, Basically, uh, it depends when you want to eat it. After baking, you cool down the cheesecake, keep it in the chiller for at least 2 hours, and then you can enjoy it then. But how much shelf life? Don't go above 3 days, because after 2.5 days, the cheesecake starts getting drier and drier. Zainab, she's asking, is there any way to fix a cheesecake that isn't set? Oh yes, there is. Start again. You cannot do, after the cheesecake is set, you cannot do anything. You basically have to start all over again. That's why I'm explaining you step by step, and I'm explaining you this is where you can make mistakes, and I'm explaining you don't repeat this mistake. Comment down below if you want the recipe and if you want the recorded version. All right, and give me a thumbs up whoever is enjoying the cheesecake. All right. Now, just to understand the science behind it, you know, cheesecake is behaving more like a custard than a cake. It's actually, we consider it as a custard. That's why we bake it at a lower temperature for a longer time. So the heat distribution or the cooking is even. If you bake it at high temperature, the baking starts from outside to inside. You know, you see, if you see my cream now, the cream is started to getting thick. This is where I'm going to increase the speed. What stage I have to bake it? I have to bake it until medium peak, and I will show you a surprise what I'm going to do with this garnishing cake. Now my cream is almost done. Now I'm going to whip it until it's thick. This, my friend, is a medium peak. All right, if I whip for 30-40 seconds more, it becomes stiff peak. And then you want homemade butter, whip it for 3-4 minutes more. You will have homemade butter. All right, now just let me go and quickly check if my cheesecake jelly is set or no. Perfect. Now you see, guys, my jelly is set over here. You see, I'm touching it on top. For me, since we have our luxury of having blast freezer, that's why it happened in 5 to 7 minutes. If you're doing this at home, you need to wait for until 2 hours to 3 hours until the jelly should be set. All right, don't rush, don't be see, it's baking and patisserie, it's a science. You cannot rush things. Then you will ask me how to fix things, I will tell you to start again. Can I have blowtorch, please? All right, now I'm demolding the cheesecake, and then I'm going to show you how to garnish this in a restaurant style cheesecake. Yeah. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this cream in the chiller. So basically, it will hold its temperature. Be mindful of with your blowtorch, guys. That's only a hazard for the mom who is cooking with your children. So be mindful and do not even try to touch here. If you want to have a wake up call, go ahead. But don't even try to. There you go. You see the cheesecake? All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to put it on the plate and we'll start garnishing it. Yeah. So that's our plate. Offset palette knife. And then we are going to, since the cheesecake is chilled, it was not in the blast freezer for a long time. It was so basically I made this cheesecake in the morning and it was chilled temperature, that's why it's very fragile. All right, so what now? How do we demold without a blowtorch? Use a knife, guys. You can put the knife in the hot water, okay, wipe it, and then you can run around. If you want this recording, I have did that before. So I've used the knife to demold the cheesecake. You can watch that part and then you can come back. Comment down below who have seen that part, give me a thumbs up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my cream and I'll do my favorite part, which is the quenelle. And today I'm going to show you the easiest way of making a quenelle. Don't miss this part, guys, otherwise you're losing on a lot. Hot water and spoon. A lot of people have their own style of making a quenelle. I have made like 10,000 plus more quenelles in my life. I'm going to show you the easiest way. It's about changing the angle. So I have a spoon over here, okay, and I'm going to take a tissue. All right, so you have any questions coming up? No? What temperature the jelly should set at? Gelatin starts reacting at chill temperature, guys. So yeah, okay. Now the most important when you are doing a quenelle, the most important thing is the temperature of the spoon and what kind of spoon. I love the spoon, so I just took the spoon. uh, A tip over here, do not keep your spoons in the hot water for a long time. The temperature of the spoons changes. What happens is if you put the spoon in the hot water for a long time and you put it in the cream starts melting. That's what you don't want to. You take it, dip it, remove it, give it a wipe. All right, take your bowl. It should be warm, between warm and hot. Now you see the angles. I'm going to grab the cream towards me, change the angle of my spoon, and I'm going to scoop it out. You see? And then I'm going to place it over here. All right. And then I'm going to change the angle of the plate. Again, same thing. I just dipped it, wiped it, check the temperature of your spoon. If it's too hot, put it in the cold water. All right. Now you see the temperature of the spoon is still hot. I'm not going to dip it. I'm just going to wipe it. And then I'm going to change the angle again. And then my last quenelle. All right. Comment down below if you love to make quenelle, or you give me a thumbs up if you know how to make quenelle already. All right. Now let's do the most important part, which everyone loves to do: garnishing. All right. So I have some mangoes over here. Oh, wait, someone is calling me. I think the oven is ready. Let me quickly have a look at the cheesecake. All right, now Vijay is going to help me in removing me the cheesecake, and I'm going to show you how the cheesecake looks like. All right, in the meantime, let's do the garnishing. So I have cut the mangoes in cubes where I'm going to place it nicely. Safety first, Vijay. Make sure that the water is hot. Water is hot, be careful. All right, there goes the mango, which adds a freshness to your cheesecake. Next thing I'm going to do is the mint. All right, I'm taking the tips of the mint so it looks nicely, and then when you add have a mint, it adds a freshness to your. All right, since we are more focused on plating, because what you see, that's what you love, and what you see, that's what you love to eat, you know. So this is the chocolate feathers, what we usually make in our classes here at ICCA. We teach them chocolate garnishes as well. So that's feathers was what we made, and that's what we have used in our class. All right. Last but not the least, just to enhance with the color, I'm going to add some rose petals. All right. This was my last minute touch. It was my last minute move. Guys, give us a thumbs up if you love to have this cheesecake. and you let us know. Last but not the least, oh no, 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 not last. This is the last, but then we have something before that. We do add a Dubai bling touch. We do add a Dubai touch to it. So do you guys please comment down below if you want to have any questions, or let me know what kind of cheesecake you love to have. You like to have cold cheesecake, bas cheesecake, or a sous vide cheesecake? Let me know if you want to have that. All right. So that's the touch of gold. Then I'm going to add a little bit of lime zest, just a little bit, so it acts a natural color. All right. And then last but not the least, touch of gold. I hope you guys loved what I've done. I hope. Oh, one more important thing: the cheesecake. The cheesecake. So I will let you know, guys, just how to look at the cheesecake. Since this tray is directly from the oven, if you see at the sides, it's baked, and if you see in the center, it's still jiggling, right? It's still jiggling. This is the consistency you need for a cheesecake. Okay, this is important. Why? Because see, I have not removed it from the oven. It's still in the tray. The cooking is still happening. So we will going to let it set in the this one, and once it comes to a room temperature, I'm going to put it in the blast freezer, and then I'm going to do this magic what I did in front of you guys. All right. Now I present to you guys baked mango cheesecake, but eggless. I hope you loved the session. I hope you enjoyed it. Uh, my media team is waiting for me actually. They want me to cut the cheesecake because they want to have it right now. But before I end it, tomorrow we have Chef Michelle coming in. You know what she's doing? Something amazing. She's going to show you how to make a stuffed chicken. I'm not going to tell you what with what, but she's going to show you how to make a stuffed chicken, and then she's going to make some sauce, awesome sauce. So it's going to be a wholesome meal. Come back tomorrow. Stay tuned with us. Let us know in the comment if you want the recipe and all. Stay tuned for Chef Michelle. I'm Chef Omkar from ICCA Dubai. Signing off today. I hope you have an awesome time. And if you made this with your at home, with your friends, with your family, with your kids, anyone, do send us a picture and then we will let you know. All right. Thank you so much for today. I hope you had an enjoyed session. Thumbs up if you have enjoyed for the session, and I will see you soon. Also, let me know what recipe you would like to see next. Have an awesome day, guys. See you soon.